Alan Wake Remastered is an action-adventure game, thriller if you can give it that. It's developed by Remedy Entertainment, and it was first released on the Xbox 360 in May 2010, and now finally it is released in the PS4 and PS5 this year in 2021. The story follows best-selling thriller novelist Alan Wake as he tries to uncover the mystery behind his wife's disappearance during a vacation in a small fictional town of Bright Falls, Washington, and all while experiencing events from the plot in his latest novel, which he cannot remember writing, coming to life. I never played Alan Wake. I'm being dead serious. I've never played Alan Wake. Now, I did own an Xbox. All right. Give me all the hate. Give me the hate. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah. Okay, alright, that's enough. Focus. Anyway, I haven't played Alan Wake, not because I didn't want to, but because I couldn't. And the reason why I'm saying that is because when I had a 360, it kept burning out. And I was on my third 360. The 360s, like the 360s back then was badly, like they had a bad lifespan, especially the first models. And when Alan Wake came out was when I didn't have one because I was already fed up with it. I was on my third 360 when it burned out the third time. Alan Wake released, and I was already on the PlayStation Live. So I missed out on it, but I can't say I did because I finally played this one, and I'm gonna have to tell you right now, if you played the original Alan Wake, because I've seen some comparisons, because it's a big difference. And you're thinking about playing this one because you think it could be just an HD ripoff, or if you haven't played Alan Wake like I haven't, and you are on the fence of trying to play this one, to those two suggestions, it has to fit on this answer. You guys need to check this damn game out. It is fucking amazing. The story does not drag at all. Now, just like a lot of games like this, it likes to give you a tutorial and a good, like, story-driven perspective of how you can control Alan Wake's character as you begin to see the visuality of how things is going on in the town and how his stories in the novels that he's making is affecting the city. And I thought this was great because by me being a novelist and by me making stories and stuff for a living and me coming back into the novel life because I'm more focused on doing my YouTube channel, me focusing on mental therapy classes, this is actually a game that I would probably make. Like, I would make a game like this. Like a thriller game where you are a novelist and you're just making a lot of good stories and all of a sudden the unthinkable has happened. What would you do if a story that you're making, a thriller story or a horror story, would come to life? And to make matters worse, you are that protagonist. So what would you do? Would you stick to the script? Or would you try to change things around? All that is explained on this game, and it is explained great. It is explained very well, and I bought into Alan Wake's character. And not just his character, but all the other side characters as well, such as Benny. No, his name is Bernie. At first, I hated Bernie, but when I seen Bernie's character, like I said, at first I didn't like him. But what made me like him was the fact that he had the Donda jacket, too. He was ahead of his time. He was ahead of his time. And what made me didn't like him at first was the fact that he was annoying. He was always whining, complaining, bitching. But at the same time, as the game progresses, he begins to pull off his weight. He actually begins to be likable. And he ended up being one of my favorite characters. Same thing with Sarah, the cop. Now, I was trying to see how the law enforcement was going to handle themselves in this game. Was they going to believe Alan Wake? Was they not going to believe Alan Wake? Because he actually said to himself, his wife, Alice Wake, which they developed her up pretty well in this game as well. I loved her character too. All lives matter in this game. You begin to feel the fear of these characters when they are at the brink of dying or when their lives are in danger. So they did the pacing perfect on here. But with Sarah's character, the cop, at first, she was concerned about Alan Wake's character. She did not know if she wanted to believe him, the fact that there was a whole lot of weird shit going on in town. But when she seen it for herself, she bought on to it. So as this happened, her character got developed as well later on in the game, and everything played out smoothly on this game, in my opinion. Because when you do thriller games or survival horrors, two things are important. That is the characters and how you're going to present them through the pacing of the game. People don't think that's true, but I believe so, because when shit starts happening, I want to feel the fear of the characters. I want to be afraid of my characters, including my main dying. It makes it more engaging. The gameplay is intense. I'm talking so much about the pacing of the game because it does it so right and so well and polished, but the gameplay and the combat is so intense because you have to fight. I'm sorry, I'm trying to fix this mask. This mask is like literally itching my beard. If I'm doing this too much, I apologize. So I'm gonna have to, you know what? I'm gonna suspend my hands from being up here. Oh, now it's itching even more. Hold on. But anyway, the game combat is intense as hell because you have weapons, but that's not going to be enough for you to fight these enemies, because these enemies, they're human beings, but they are possessed by a dark presence that is keeping them invulnerable to gunfire. So you can shoot them, but it won't kill them. You can outrun them, but they'll chase you through the ranks of hell. So you need to have lights. You need to have a flashlight or any type of device that could help you through the darkness of the enemies, and that would literally take out the barrier that is protecting them from the darkness, and then you can shoot the shit out of them. I do like the concept and the control of how you kill your enemies on the game, but what I didn't like about it was that you do get new enemies, so new things get thrown at you, but after a while it gets repetitive because you get used to which enemy shows up and how to defeat each enemy. So therefore, when I have different types of weapons, when a different enemy shows up, I will save that weapon for that enemy. And no matter what difficulty you play it on, because I was playing it on nightmare mode, it got easy. It got easy for me because the big enemies I fought, I used the bigger weapons. The small enemies I fought, I used the smaller weapons. And it's I felt like for this game being a remaster, now they probably did change the difficulty setting of this game because I haven't played the original, but I'm just going by the remastered standards of how I played this. I felt like they should have more types of different enemies thrown at you. Now, like I said, it's debatable, but if they do have different enemies thrown at me, I wish that the enemies was more advanced, switched up their tactics. Now, you had something to try to come at me from behind. Pause. But with a survival thriller game like this, that's common sense. You're going to know that you know the enemies are going to come from behind you, period. So that's just common sense. So when that happens, just be aware and just use the right type of weapons. When you do that, the enemies, you're gonna feel sorry for the enemies. Honestly, there were times I did, but that's a minor flaw. But at the same time, it all depends. It's debatable. Like, what does make you repetitive? If you don't like new enemies being thrown at you and you don't like a challenge, then you're gonna like the combat of this game more than I did. People keep comparing this game to Quantum Break. I think that's the name of the game. Yes, Quantum Break, and what's another Control. I don't think that's fair because Alan Wake came out way before then. But if you want to pull that aspect, I think this game, Alan Wake, reminds me a lot of Silent Hill, Heavy Rain, and Fatal Frame. And the reason I'm saying Silent Hill is because you're outside and the forest is like haunted instead of you being in a house. The reason I'm saying it's a lot like Heavy Rain is because of the environment and like the character dialogue and the detail of these characters, and you just trying to find your missing wife. And the reason I say Fatal Frame is because weapons ain't gonna work. You need something to flash your enemies with so you can be able to defeat them more easily. And I like that about this game is because weapons is not the key. Strategic, strategy is. And I feel like that is important for a survival horror game because even if you have weapons, I want to feel like I can still get killed. And Alan Wake was like that for a certain extent because, like I mentioned, after you get everything figured out, the enemies ain't shit. Period. Now, is the game scary? Even if you're a kid and you're afraid of playing games in the dark, you're not going to be afraid of this game. This game is more of a thriller. So why am I reviewing this game? Well, because I just beat it. And I thought I was going to be scared. But it's not. the game is more of a thriller aspect to the Evil Within and the Evil Within 2. I can't say Resident Evil because Resident Evil have, well, I guess it depends what Resident Evil game you playing, but it has like more infected. The reason why I said Evil Within is because you got crazy people trying to kill you and you're outside. So it's subjective. It's not really scary, but at the same time, it's more of a thrilling aspect of just you trying to survive. So it's not a scary game, and I get scared easily, but it's still enjoyable. And as for the graphics, it's a major improvement to the original Alan Wake. And there were times when I seen the game and I was just astonished of how they improved the graphics. But let's be honest here. This is really not a PlayStation 5 game. This is more of a PS4 game, in my opinion. Because I've seen like the footages of it and the comparisons to it. It's really not a big difference to the PS4 and the PS5 graphics. So if you're wondering if you should play this on the PS5 and PS4, play it on the PS4. You're not missing out. But other than that, Alan Wake was a very damn good game. I enjoyed it. Only thing I had a problem with was the fact that the enemies was just pretty predictable at times. But other than that, this is a thrilling ride. And I'm really looking forward to them making another Alan Wake on the PlayStation series because I heard occasionally that they're planning on putting another one on the PS5, maybe Alan Wake 2, but we'll have to just see. I'm going to have to give Alan Wake an A-. I suggest you guys to play this remaster. This remaster is actually worth to play, and it's not even that expensive. So it's a good game to play on Halloween, but the next game I'm going to be playing is way more scary than this. You just have to just watch my stream to see. Well, that's it for today. Please stay tuned for more upcoming reviews and videos headed towards your way. This is Hugo, your critic teacher. You guys have a damn good day.